Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name's Cathy and welcome to Skint Living UK. Today I wanted to do a part 2 of why or should I say we are moving to Scotland. I feel like I left out a few points, and because I was whistling on and going all around the houses, I missed those points out, so I thought, I'll do a part 2 and see if you find anything interesting. And of course, like I said last time, if you've got any questions, feel free to ask. I'm an open book and I'm happy to answer things if I can. One of the things I wanted to talk about was the actual fact that I want to downsize. I moved into this house in 2020 with my 2 grown-up sons, and I wanted to move to this area, get rid of the mortgage that I had on my other house. I had about 7.5 years odd, maybe near enough 8, left on my mortgage, and I just didn't want to keep on paying it. I just had enough. So moving to this house gave me the opportunity to pay off the mortgage in the other house, buy this house, and left me with a little bit of equity to do some bits of jobs here, because this was a fixer-upper as well. This house is far too big for me. It's got 3 bedrooms, 2 living rooms and 2 bathrooms. There's just for a single person it's no good. For a family, smashing, but for a person on their own it's no good, because my son wants to get his own place this year and he's my youngest, so I will literally be an empty nester rattling around this big house. And I'm not bragging, I'm just saying the reason I bought this place was because it was a fixer-upper and meant no mortgage, obviously no rent, and my 2 grown-up sons came with me at the time. My older son had moved out about 3 years ago to be with his girlfriend up in Scotland, and my youngest used to live in the living room. That was his bedroom. So even though the rooms used to be knocked through, we got it blocked up again, and there's still 2 separate rooms. And because of when I did the room up, he's moved upstairs now. He's looking for a place of his own, like I said, but to be here in Liverpool in England, he can't afford it. It's just out of his reach. As we know, Gen Z and millennials are finding it hard to find affordable housing, and that includes rent, never mind buying. And I think, to be honest, these days it's cheaper to buy than to rent, because I think paying a mortgage is often cheaper than renting. If you heard any snorty noises in the background, I've just noticed with the dog. My dog's in here with me. She's been flat out on the bed, and now because I'm talking to you, she's sat up and going, what's going on? I think 9 times out of 10 she's thinking, oh, it's the food. She makes me by a belly. But anyway, so he can't afford to live here, to buy a place of his own in England. I can't afford to live here because the prices of smaller places are not that much cheaper. So I'd be losing space, but probably the cost is roughly the same or a little bit less, not much difference. And I don't want to move into a flat in England, because there's all that leasehold fees, because you don't own the land that your flat's on, and there's all these service charges that they rip you off for every year, and these spiral out of control and get larger and larger and larger every year. And I think that's why a lot of people in England are struggling to sell the flats. So if I was to buy a flat in Scotland, it would be freehold, not leasehold. I'm not having any of that rubbish. And it would be mine, and that would be the end of it. I'm not doing that when I'm paying fees every year. The whole point is to be mortgage free, is to not have money going out every month to pay some other person. I'm not paying someone else. No. So yeah, so basically we can't afford to stay here. I've looked at prices and they are cheaper up there in Scotland. And it's not just that the fact that to buy the actual place is cheaper. It's because it's smaller, my bills will be smaller, and I'm planning on buying another dump, another fixer-upper. So this will be my 3rd, and I'm hoping the last. And it'll be less to renovate, because that's why it's been so slow doing this house, because of all the rooms. It's just never ending rooms. I just feel like, oh my goodness. It's just like, oh, another room today. Whereas if you're in a 1-bedroom flat, 1 living room, 1 kitchen, 1 bathroom, 1 hallway. Do you know what I mean? Whereas this place, it's just, oh, yeah. So that's another reason. Plus, what I'm hoping for, fingers crossed, is a garden, a real garden. Most of the houses in Liverpool, there are places with gardens, I just have a paved backyard. Some people call it a courtyard. No, it's a yard, it's a backyard. But people who have ollies in the mouth say, oh yes, it's a walled garden. No, it's not. It's a yard. Let's get real here. So I've got potted plants out of mine, and finds from the entry, and finds that I've got here, there and everywhere, and cheapy buys and thrifted finds, all kinds of stuff there to make it look like a pretty garden. So in Scotland I want to grow my own veggies and fruit, get some fruit bushes, and if I've got the space, make some raised beds and put the plastic covers on so I can cover them and protect them from the weather. I'll touch wood, if there's room, a little greenhouse so I can grow things like peppers and tomatoes. Yum, 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 yum. So that's another thing. I want to grow my own fruit and veg. A big thing that I didn't mention was free prescriptions. I don't know if you know this, the UK is part of England, Ireland, Scotland and Wales, Northern Ireland, and the remaining part of Ireland is an independent country called EIRE, E-I-R-E, and Northern Ireland and Wales already had free prescriptions because of devolution. Devolution means that rather than all the power and all the money being concentrated in London, which it still is mostly, as though those powers are being devolved and the more autonomy has gone to independent countries, they are in charge of their own budget, and they have decided to do free prescriptions. And Scotland did the same when the SNP were in power in 2011, and they said they wanted free prescriptions because it was a tax on ill health, and that was their words, not mine. And I think they're so right, because a lot of places like the States, whatever, people are in medical debt, even bankruptcy, because they've had a big operation. And if you've got something big like a long-standing condition, say like diabetes, you can't afford. There's loads of people who can't afford to buy the insulin every month because the prescriptions are so expensive. And if you have a major medical thing that needs doing, say like you've had a heart attack or heart surgery or given birth, in the States, in the all the westernised countries, the infant mortality and the mother mortality, I think it's like 3 or 4 times more than every other country. If you see all the little bar graphs, they're all like in and out, in and out. And then you get to America and it goes whoosh. And if you're a black woman, it's even worse. You're more likely to be dying. Your child's more likely to die. So that's probably had a significant effect on why a lot of women in the States don't want to have kids, because they are literally risking their lives. We risk our lives as women having children anyway, but over there even more so. So yeah, I can understand why they don't want to do it. So as I said anyway, going around the world, people can't afford, because of the cost of living crisis and wages being stagnant or basically non-existent if you're doing gig work, agency work, they can't afford to pay for the prescriptions, which is just under a tenner. And if you've got that continually every month, you could end up really seriously ill. I'm on thyroxine, levothyroxine, because my thyroid doesn't work anymore. So I'd be stuffed if I didn't get that every month. But that counts as a necessity medication, so I don't have to pay for that. But if it was another type of medication, I would. But in Scotland, no matter what your age, no matter what your health condition is, no matter what your income is, it's free. So you could have, like, you need 5 days of antibiotics because you've cut yourself and they need to make sure that you don't get septic. Or you could have insulin every month for the next 30 years. It doesn't matter, it's still free. And I think that's a great way of phrasing it, because paying for prescriptions is a tax on ill health. Liverpool is a very socialist city. There are more pockets of it where people have delusions of grandeur and think they're ever so posh, but they're far outweighed by the normal people who are left-leaning. And I think Northern Ireland, Wales and Scotland are the same. And that's where I think I would feel comfortable, because the people have the right philosophy in life. It's not about politics really, it's about looking after individuals, looking after the community. And that's different from politics. It's people being kind to other people. Whereas if you're right wing, it's all about the self, isn't it? Thatcher epitomised that. It's like, I'm all right, Jock, and you can just go away and die. Sort of philosophy, so I don't like that. So on the similar sort of vein, the Scotland has got their own NHS, so they've decided how they spend their money. They have total autonomy over that. Same with the DWP up there, they have autonomy over that. They do things differently. They even say to people who've moved up from England, don't tell the English government, because it's none of their business and they will cut whatever it is you're entitled to. And England doesn't pay for that. They've got a set budget and it's up to them. They mitigate the expenses. That it's down to them how the money is spent. And they don't get extra for, say, for the prescriptions or whatever. On a similar sort of vein, there's no charges for hospital parking. Like, there's a lot of hospitals now where you're paying a good few bob to park, and if you're there for an emergency, or you're there because your partner's given birth, or you're there because your mum and dad are ill, and the last thing you need is to be finding change or a payment card or using your debit card, and you might not have enough money to pay for parking. And then it has a bad knock-on effect in the local area, because people are parking in the local streets, and the people who live around there must be frustrated because people are parking in their streets and they're probably jam-packed all the time. Another health thing is the dentistry is subsidised. It's not totally free, but it's a lot cheaper. Say, like, if you pay £65, £55, whatever, for a filling, in England it would be, say, £25 in Scotland. So it's subsidised. They don't have the bedroom tax. They call it discretionary housing payments, DHP, and they will pay extra for the bedroom tax. So if you're an individual who lives, say, in a 2-bedroom social housing, you won't be paying for that extra bedroom like they do in England. There's no bedroom tax there either. I won't be going in social housing, but I think it's disgusting making people move into somewhere smaller that could be hundreds of miles away from where they are, just so they don't have an extra bedroom. Because people can't afford it. No, people are on a set income. If you're on benefits or you're on pension and you're on a set income, you can't afford to pay that bedroom tax. It's disgusting. A lot of people often talk about the sanitary products as well, because since 2022 it's actually come into law now, the Period Products Act. So girls and women are entitled to free sanitary products. In the States, sanitary products are taxed quite highly, but to give you an example of where their priorities are, Viagra is not taxed. So something like that is not taxed, but women, which is a basic necessity of life, needing sanitary towels or tampons or whatever, are taxed. So that's misogynistic government policy there, isn't it? So I think that's really good. So it came in August 2022, the Period Products Act. So I think that's marvellous. So those sorts of things are available in food pantries, food banks, hospitals, schools. Particularly a lot of schools have them, because no girl should be missing school or missing appointments or anything like that because they haven't got any sanitary products. This is an opportunity for me to talk about a company, a charity called Smalls for All, and you can donate money or underwear, and it's distributed to all kinds of places across the world, including the UK. Often women who are fleeing domestic violence, they go with just the clothes on the back, so they haven't got a change of underwear. And a lot of women's shelters, refuge, get given donations by this charity. Smalls for all, so you can actually donate a brand new packet of knickers or bras, or you can just donate money and they will purchase them, and it goes all over the world, Africa, and all up and down the UK, to certain groups, certain places, like I said, women's refuges and places like that. So there's a lot of good work going on, that are there to help women because they're disadvantaged because of the circumstances that they're in. And I was thinking of that because of the sanitary products thing. It's sort of like a spin-off of that. So yeah, so there you go. And as my son always says when he speaks to the Scottish people up there, because he loves them because they've got the same sense of humour, the same outlook, the same perspective on things. They struggle to get understood by people as us Scousers are, because both Scottish and Scousers speak too fast and want to tell everyone everything. And he often says, they have to go, oh, you're English. And he goes, no, Scouse, not English. If you're not sure where the word Scouse comes from, it comes from lobscouse, which was a type of stew that sailors used to eat on board the ships. So, yeah. And then they sort of got nicknamed Scousers. So, yeah, Scouse, not English. So I'm thinking of names for when I move up to Scotland, and I was thinking of Skint Scouser in Scotland, because I love all the S's, all the alliteration. So what do you think? If you've got any suggestions for, because I want to change the channel name a bit when I move up there, in sort of honour of moving up to such a wonderful place. Skint Scouser in Scotland. Let me know what you think. Please like, share and subscribe, and bye for now.